Hello, welcome to High Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another board game unboxing. And this is going to be Endeavor Age of Sail, a game that we backed on Kickstarter. We backed the Endeavor Age of Expansion off of Kickstarter, along with some upgrades there for the base game. And we just recently ordered the base game itself. So now we have, after we got the Kickstarter in for the Age of Expansion, and we're debating about whether or not to do separate videos for this, for each one, or to put them all together. But they kind of overlap each other with the upgrades and stuff, so I kind of decided just to do them all together in the same video. So maybe a little bit of a lengthy video, but bear with us, and we'll get through it all. So alright, so we'll start with the base game, Age of Sail. Very popular game. So we'll start it over here. Alright, turn it around. As you can see, Brussels 1893 in the background there. It's another game we got in. Alright, I apologize for the glare there. It's late afternoon, well actually early evening, but it's still a little bit of sunlight. So tried to block most of it out, but some of it came through. Alright, so let's see here. So Endeavor Age of Sail, the Age of Sail, which was from 1571 to 1862. Was an era of unprecedented expansion across the oceans of the globe, where seagoing companies tied the continents together with mighty fleets. Set sail into a rich strategy game where you are a growing naval power attempting to connect with the distant regions of the world. From your foothold in Europe, you'll strive to make the wisest connections as the maps unfold. Compelling decisions abound. You'll grapple with efficiency, strategy, and even morality. Slavery. The battles ahead will be fought with cunning as much as with cannons. When it's all over, will it be your empire that writes the history books? You hold in your hands the long-awaited new edition of the much-loved modern classic Endeavor. So this is based on the regular game Endeavor. This is Endeavor Age of Sail. We have kept the original's gripping gameplay intact with a few significant but simple enhancements. The most dramatic additions are the game-changing exploits. Each exploit is a historical event from the Age of Sail that was related to two of the regions in the game. The exploits create unbelievable replayability, bring wonderful thematic flavor to the game, and will help you experience the tumultuous Age of Sail more fully than ever before. So there you go. As you can see, some of the, this is the game board and everything here, and some of the buildings and stuff you can get, along with the first player token, which is pretty cool. So without further ado, let's open it up here. Pretty big box. Alright, nice finish on the box. And again, this was also on Kickstarter too, the original Age of Sail a couple years ago. So alright. So I'll push the expansion over there. So it's a game for ages 12 and above. 2 to 5 players, and about a 60-minute game. It is a pretty fast game, once you learn it. The turns move pretty fast. Yeah, really nice box. And let's see here. It's also going to have game trays in it, which is always a bonus whenever you can get a game with that stuff in it. So, alright, so here is the rule book. So you're going to be building industry, culture, wealth, influence, and glory. So glory are your victory points, and the other 4 are your different tracks that you're going to want to increase to run your engine as you acquire buildings. Okay, so there you go. So there's one of the maps. It's 2-sided. So one double-sided game board. This looks like the 3 to 5 player one, and then I think There's a 2 to 4 player side or something like that too, depending upon what type of game you want. Here are the player boards right here. The different 4 tracks there, and then on the bottom where you're going to get your cards that you can collect from around the board, and the blue areas for your buildings. It's going to take place in 7 rounds. And again, it moves pretty smoothly. Nothing too complicated in the game. It's more strategy. And then here you go right here. So setup. And you have your game construction phase. So you got to have construction phase, growth phase, salary phase, and the action phase there. And then the different types of actions you can do. You can do a shipping action, which is right here. So nice examples and everything like that, with pictures and everything, which is awesome. Occupy action, attack action, and payment action, and a draw action. And then you have your, so the 5th one is the discard phase, which you're going to discard to your count depending upon how much influence you have. You can only have a certain amount of cards. And then the end of the round here. So cleanup phase, and then finally you have your game end and final scoring. So pretty basic rule book. Again, only 12 pages, which is nice. And in the back here, it has a 2-player variant in back, which you play with the dummy player, and the credits. So this game design is by Carl De Visser and Jarrett Gray, which we usually in Burndt Island Games and Grand Gamers Guild were the developers. So there you go. As you can see on the box also. So alright, here is a exploits rulebook. So this is when you play with the exploits, I guess, expansion. And it gives the different exploits and what they are. So got a whole bunch of them right there, which are all pretty historically accurate, I guess. And this right here will add some time to it. So it was 60 minutes. This is 75 to 100 minutes. So it'll add, about anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, depending upon which exploits you have, I guess, and how many people you're playing. So yeah, just the different so you have exploit keys and stuff, exploit shields, and then here are all the components for the exploits right here, which are all part of the upgraded components here, which are nice. There you go. How to activate exploit setup, how to activate them, and then interacting with exploits, exploit details and clarifications. And then here are the exploits right here. So Republic of Pirates, Imperialism, Spanish Main, Dutch East India Company, Jesuit missionaries, right here on the top. Sorry, kind of hard to get it in there. It's a tall rule book. And then the South Sea Company, and then you have your Manila Galleons, the Underground Railroad, Transit of Venus, The Sun Never Sets, the Spice Trade, and Globalization, which ironically I just studied with one of my students going for his high set. We talked about that. And the Letters of the Marquis. Sorry, it's kind of hard to get the whole thing in. And the Haitian Revolution. And on the back is kind of like the storage, how to set it. Comes in these nice game trays, which I'll show you, and how to put everything away, which is always nice to know. And your credits. So alright, so I guess we'll go with the game trays first, since they're right on top. So very nice plastic game trays here. So these are going to be where the buildings go in and everything. And then your individual player pieces and everything go in here. It's very nice. There's 5 of these because it goes to 5-player game. So you get all these right here. So you get 5 of these. So very nice. They fit in the box really cool. And let's see what we got here. So here is your, I think these are for the exploits and stuff. Maybe they might be for what each of the cards do in each of the regions. That could be it too. That could be like a summary there. You got 2 double-sided here. Are they the same? No, they're different. So might be different depending upon player count and whatnot. But this is kind of a thin little component. And of course you got your baggies, which any good game usually has nowadays. And you get your tokens. So we won't be using a lot of these tokens, but these are the tokens that you would use. Not the greatest thickness here. Probably average thickness. Not too thin, not too heavy, kind of in the middle. And then your cannons and stuff there. But again, these are ones you're going to be using if you don't get the upgraded token. So we may not punch these out. We may, but we may not. And this that you might be the maybe the first player token in the game without the upgrades. So there you go. And then here are your buildings, which we will be using these. So you have your different types of buildings in which they're going to be, these are like action spots. Once you place them on your player board, they'll enable you to take different actions or get different resources and whatnot. And here's some influence markers. And some more buildings. Oops, let's just show you one right here. So again, not the thickest components, but not the thinnest either. So, but these aren't too bad though. These are nice. So this is the market, which will enable you to put a token on here and do an action. And looks like we got some more buildings on here. Just show you a few more of them. That looks like the. It's kind of hard to theater. It's kind of hard to read the script there, the handwriting. Guildhall, docks, barracks, and whatnot, and more guild halls. And these are some more building resources and different other tokens. University up there. Memorials, Parliament, and the colonial houses, which are your starting buildings. So colonial house, you can start with a colonial house, or you can start with, I think it's a shipping house, merchants, dock. So you can get a choice of 2 buildings to start with. 2 buildings. And here are your nice, these are nice. These are huge too. These are your player boards, which are huge. But all your tracks up top here. And then your buildings, and then on the bottom your cards. And then you play your discs over here where the ship area there is there. And then it gives you a summary of what you do on your turns. So you can combine turns and do them together. Once you figure out how to do them, once everybody gets comfortable with the rules. I think the first 3 actions you can kind of do simultaneously, and then the last 2 you'll do in turn order. So another player board, and I'll show you the back of them. Just nothing too much to the back of these. But these are all the same. So we'll start with the same player board. So 5 of these. Huge. They're basically the whole length of the box. And then you got your first player token here, the crown, which is very nice. And then here are your cards right here. So these cards are the ones that are going to go in. These are smaller than I thought they would be, but these are going to go into the different sections of the map, and you can claim them depending on how much influence you have. Oh, here we go. So these are the ones right here. So this is Africa. So this gives you a building, I think some influence, and then it gives you an extra player disc to do actions with, and this one requires you to have 1 presence in the territory that you have. So they're going to be increasing, and they go from 0 to 5. So you have to have more and more influence in order to get the draw the other cards to do the draw actions. But I think these are for the exploits and stuff too. So let's see here. I'll show you a few more of these cards. So let's see here. Yeah, so these are the Africa 1, 0. Oops. Kind of hard to hold these and show them to you at the same time. But yeah, so these are right here, 2, 3. So these are going to get increasingly more powerful in each region. This gives you a victory point as well as a bunch of other movements up on your tracks. And then here's the Caribbean. So one's for the Caribbean. So yeah, so they give you various. Let's see here. I just want to get to the Far East right here. So you get the Far East. And they're very similar according to the regions that you're in. The only ones that in India is an India region. And these are nice. They get a nice finish on the cards. North America. And I think Europe is the region that you start in. So North America. Let's see here. Lots of victory points on this one. South America. And Europe, the region that you started. So these, the Europe one starts with a 0. I think the rest of them start with 1 through 5, but we have to unlock different regions. So you have to have at least one presence in them anyway. But the reason this starts at 0 is because that's where everybody starts, and you don't have to have any influence in order to get the first card. There's one thing special about the last European card, as you'll see in a second, is this one right here. As you can see on the bottom, it says abolish slavery. That's what's written in there. And these are the so in the Europe area, you can get these slavery cards, and the slavery cards are slightly more powerful, quite a bit more powerful than the average cards. But if slavery does get abolished, then you're going to lose points at the end of the game. And you can see right here, there's a negative victory point. So slavery can get you up on the tracks, but again, it's a bad thing. So it's going to cost you in the end if it gets abolished. So, but it adds to the strategy too. So there's a lot of resources on there. And then yeah, I think these are just for the exploits. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of these exploit cards which have to do with the different exploit missions that I mentioned before. So you got your little deck of cards here. And a nice insert in here. Oh, still more stuff. Wow. So here's your player board, which I'll set up and show you later. And then you have your, oh, these are cool. These are what I really like. So they have different, these are your exploits and missions cards, so the ones I mentioned before. So these are super thick. These are nice, thick, like cards there, but it explains you how you do each of your exploits and everything. And then these are the backs of them. So I think there's 12 of these, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, actually 15. So that was the globalization one. You can pause it if you like to read it. And here is your letter of marque one. There you go. So I'll show you the globalization. I'll try to get that one to focus again. There you go. And then you have your Haitian Revolution. So you can see it's got non-slavery mentioned on it. So it's going to give you different objectives and stuff you have to complete, I think, in these. So that adds some definitely replayability in it. It's like a campaign type mode. Okay. The sun never sets. Transit of Venus. Different territories you're going to want to get and resources, it looks like. Sorry, it's a little hard to get it in focus there. Okay. the Underground Railroad to do with slavery and stuff. See, slavery is abolished. Some Manila galleons. So there's different ships in here. Cell C Company. So different things, goods and stuff you want to get, I guess. Goods or movement on tracks and stuff. Jesuit missionaries. You're going to plant churches and stuff, I think. Dutch East India Company. This one looks fun. You can see that's in South Africa. Spanish Main. And imperialism. Republic of Pirates. And finally, the last one, saltpeter stockpiles. Voila. Okay. All right. And then you have your basic player pieces and stuff here. Churches and stuff too. It's kind of neat. I'll show you some of these. And get the bag open. So pretty cool, the little churches. And then these are the regular, basic pieces, but we're going to show you the upgrades to these in a second. And some more shields. And then I think that's it, other than colored cubes. The different colored shields and crests on them. So, bag of these. And these are your action tokens in here. A ton of these. And all the different I think 4-player colors in the base game. I mean, no, actually 5, I'm sorry. 5, I think. Too many games, getting them all mixed up. Alright, and then I'll show you the insert inside this. This is a really nice insert inside the, actually other stuff. Of course, you got to have your score pad here. Pretty easy to score it in the games that I've watched Slicker Dips do and John Gets Games, and I think Heavy Cardboard might have done one, and among others. And then a very nice, let's see how much I can get this in there. So very nice grooves and everything, and stuff to put all your pieces back in a nice, neat manner, which makes setup easier. Alright, so that is the base game there. And so we'll put some of this stuff back in the box. And then we'll show you the main board there. Just put all these up. Put these all on the floor. Lots of stuff. But definitely a high quality game. It's I think it's just out of the top 100, maybe like 115 or so. In the BGG ranking, so it's definitely a game that's been on our radar. And the game mechanics look pretty simple, but it's got some increasing, strategy and depth to it. But the mechanics and stuff are pretty simple, which seems to be pretty basic among a lot of the top 100 games. Is that the mechanics are pretty easy to explain and to do. It just comes in with the strategy that makes it more difficult, more interesting. So let's show you the. So I'm gonna do this without cutting it. So I apologize for the shakiness there, but that's the player board there. It's a very nice board. Very nice finish to the board and everything. Nice quality. As you can see, it unfolds and lays flat right out of the box, which is nice, unlike some games that we've gotten, like Signore and among a few others. But yeah, so there's your player board, and I think this one might be for the. I don't know if it shows it anywhere on the map, but I think we have this upside down. No, we do. So let me just show it to you. Turn it around. So there we go. Yeah, so you got your Europe, which everybody starts with here, and then you can unlock Africa, South America, Caribbean, North America, India, and Far East. So I think this one, this one is actually, looks like it's for the 2-player game, I think. Yeah, so they're for the 1 or 2 player. Well, there isn't a one player game, but I think that I know of, at least not an official one. And then on the back here, try to get the right way. Sorry. So this is for the 3 to 5 player side right here. So it's got more shipping track actions in order to open up the regions and stuff. And again, where you put the cards right here, and then the different cities you can occupy. And these are like all victory points. So, and so if you control 2 cities on either side, you can get the victory points in the middle. So that's where war comes along and stuff too. You know, fighting. Where if you have one side and the opponent has another, then you can do a military action, combat action, in order to get that victory point, as well as capture that city too, which is kind of neat. All right, so there you go. So there is the player board. So we'll just keep moving along here. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a long video, but we figured I'd want to get everything in on one video rather than having to do 2 separate videos. Alright, so this is going to be the expansion. So, Age of Expansion. And the back of it says right here. So, in Endeavor, Age of Expansion, the smooth gameplay you know from Love transforms into an entirely new experience. To completely replace set. So, you replace all the buildings in this from the base game. So 45 buildings, 7 new decks of cards, and the brand new prominence aspect create new pathways to success and interaction with barely any new rules to learn for experienced players. You'll be surprised and refreshing sensation of Age of Expansion. Entirely new toolkit to tackle the familiar challenges. You will dive into the historical experience from new angles. And again, you need the base game in order to play it. So lots of new buildings and everything. Cut this open. Yeah, nice high quality box again. It's a pretty small box though. Overall, not too thick. So let's check this out. So here are your buildings here. So I know there's some new buildings in this. Actually, you get bridges, it looks like. Naval yard, wharfs. So, and I know there's some new actions you can do on here. This is like a trade action, which I think you can trade your discs on the, or you can trade the resource discs that you get on the board. You know, one that you have with the one that's on the board. That's what it allows you to do. And then here are just some little extensions for the on top. Let's see if I can get this right. So up top there, your tracks normally go to 18, I think. Well, they only go to 15, and then you can get little extensions. So these are going to take them even further. So you can get up to 21. It looks like on your traits. And then these right here are fortifications, I think, for your cities, so it makes it harder to take over the city. You have to spend another resource disk in order to take a city. And then these might be exploits or something too in this one. And so Let's see here. Let's see if I can find any of the other new actions there. So, warfare and Navy stuff. I don't see any new ones on this. Oh, actually, that's funny because it got, yeah, 16, 17, and 18. And then on the backs of these are 19, 20, and 21 for the tracks there. So it looks like these are just primarily going to be buildings in here. Let's see here. Yeah, see these right here, the Citadel right there. Those allow you to fortify cities to a couple of different cities if you have that building. And again, they recommend you don't mix and match these buildings, that you play with them as complete sets. Some more tracks there. And then let's see here. So here are the instructions. So they go over all the new buildings, all the new cards. So I think that you replace all the cards too, all the decks and everything too, because they're going to refer to a lot of the resources, like the trade resources and stuff like that, are going to be on the cards. So you're going to want to play with new cards too, I believe. Yeah. So trade and fortify are up top there. Those two new actions I talked. And then conscription, I think that's a new one we can link, because normally you can only have a certain amount of cards on your player board, but you can double up the cards on your board. I think there's certain cards that you can stack on top of each other to get more abilities. And then, yeah, they go through all the cards and everything in here. And then New Europe cards, all the different regions cards, you know, and these are all the prominence tiles. That's what they were talking about. So that's what they are, prominence tiles, which have certain objectives on them, I think. So definitely lots of replayability in this game, which I really, really like, without adding a lot of new rules and stuff into the expansion. And then here's a little mini expansion. So Age of Expansion, Seize Your Fate mini expansion. So it's got some new monument tokens, and see if I can get to focus there a little bit. Of course, it's not going to focus if I get my finger in there. Maybe sometimes it does. No, but anyway, it's got nation tiles, fate cards in the middle, and then on the right side, monument tokens. And again, doesn't want to focus. But yeah, just a little booklet with how to use this. Voila. So it looks like about 8 pages on there on how to score it. So expansion module, a couple more little baggies, a little monuments I mentioned there, little arches. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Trajan, little Trajan arches. So for all 5 player colors. And then here are your fortifications for your cities, which add to your military buildup in the cities to make them hard to overtake. And you got your little, these are the cards, the African cards. Yeah, so new cards for the expansion. And then I'm not going to open this up, but these are just all different cards, which are going to have the new actions and stuff on them as well as the old ones. And it's marked Age of Expansion. And then finally, these are tiles right here. I will show you these. Kind of cool. These are cards here, I guess. So Seize Your Fate. Oh yeah, part of the Seize Your Fate expansion. So it's like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Some different ones in here. And then here, these are tiles right here. I think these are player aids. Are they? No, actually not. So I think these add asymmetrical powers. You can play as the Dutch Republic. Play as the Ottoman Empire, and I think they might give you different starting bonuses. I believe Great Britain, Portugal, Kingdom of France, and finally Kingdom of Spain. Yeah, so there's 5 of these, so I imagine these are for each of actually there's 6 of these. So, and then let's see what we have inside here. Again, these are for the buildings. Oops. Endeavor Age of Sail, a nice insert by Game Trace. So they always give great quality products, and And then that's pretty much it inside the box here. So alright, so that is Age of Sail and Endeavor Age of Sail and Endeavor Age of Expansion. One more thing to show you guys. These are super, super cool. I dropped some of them already. But these are the some of the upgrades you can get on Kickstarter. So you get a little bag here. So Endeavor Age of Sail bag. And then these are the, instead of the cardboard tokens, you can get these right here, which are, let's see if I can show these to you. Set them up. Bear with me, I'm trying to show them to you, so now I'll turn them all over. So these are the different action tokens which are going to go on the board, and this adds to the variability too, because when you put them out on the board, you're going to get different ones in different cities and everything like that too. So that's going to change up every game, but these are nice quality wooden tokens, as you can see. And then the blue ones are kind of like action tokens, and then the other ones are help to bolster your resources. So pretty cool. And then finally, probably one of my favorite parts of the upgrades here are your on your tracks. Normally you use just cubes, but these are super cool. So these are your cannons, which are going to go on your one of your tracks there. So very cool plastic tokens here. And then you got your building one right here. So your bricks, which is nice. So every player will get a set of these. And this one is your, one of them is influence and one of them is culture, I think. This might be culture. And then let's see here. And here you go with your coins or whatever, maybe. Your income. And then let's see here. These are pretty cool, your keys. Is that it? Oh, it might be one more. Yeah, one more, I think. Actually, that might be it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 4. Because I think you get. Yeah, so keys are part of one of the exploits or something too. But everybody will get, you know, each of these 4 plus your keys, and then these are your, some wooden tokens for your shipping. It's pretty cool. And it's a nice big bag of these, which is cool. So definitely some nice upgrades to the game. So I'm glad I did the Kickstarter version. And again, I didn't order the base game with it, with the expansion, which you could have. Because I think I maybe paid a few dollars less by getting it separately. Although it was a little harder to get, and I had to wait until it got into a reasonable price, because it was like around like 55 or 60, I think, when I looked at it on Kickstarter. But then it would go up to like $80, so I had to wait until it came back down again. I think for Miniature Market, I got a good deal on it there. So yeah, it was maybe high 50s or something like that. But anyway, that is it. Endeavor Age of Sail and Endeavor Age of Expansion. Can't wait to get this to the table. I might be playing this probably this Wednesday coming up with my game group. So, like I said, we get some more games on the way. You got that Brussels 1893 to open up. We've ordered Santa Maria in this expansion, as well as Teotihuacan, which is a game we've been playing on Board Game Arena. And there are a whole bunch of other games which we may be doing an order for over the weekend. So definitely a lot of games to play, a lot of games to unbox. So I'll show you something briefly too. So our game collection is getting pretty big here, as you can see right there. So we just about filled our rack there. So probably have to order another rack. And we have our Fields of Arl over there. Playing that, having a ball with that game. So there you go. So alright, so Endeavor Age of Sail and Endeavor Age of Expansion. Kickstarter with Kickstarter upgrades. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming, and we'll see you in the next unboxing video. Take care and God bless. Be safe. Bye-bye now.